my gorgeous plant people, welcome back to Reading Mindfully. My name is Ayana, and today I am showing you guys my new fertilizers, and I'm so excited. So if you guys are interested in watching this video, then stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So like I said, today I'm showing you guys my new fertilizer, and so I decided to use two components this time, and so I'm really excited to show you guys what fertilizer I had picked. If you guys watch my videos in the past, you know I used the Alaskan fish fertilizer, and while that fertilizer did really work and my plants loved it, that fertilizer stunk to high heck. And especially if you you put it together, you mix the fertilizer in with the water and you forgot to use all the fertilizer. If you leave it sitting out, it just smells so bad. Or if you overwater your plant, you leave the water in the saucer, it just smells really bad. And sometimes, depending on how much you mix it and you don't dilute it enough, it just has a really strong smell. And so I wanted to find something that wasn't going to be as strong as far as odor, but still worked really well for my plants. So you guys know I was talking about my goals and plans video. I was going to be looking into taking care of my plants better, looking more into making sure that they have optimum health and things like that. And so I was looking at different fertilizers, and I usually like to try to keep my fertilizers natural and organic as possible. And so I stumbled upon this brand called Down to Earth, and they just have a variety of different fertilizers, different components that you can mix together to make your own fertilizer mix, or a lot of people mix them together to make a super soil. And so you can actually mix these fertilizers or components into the soil, so that way you don't have to keep watering the plant with it. Or you can make with the bat guano particularly, you can mix this into the soil. Like I said, you can make a foliar spray, which is when you're mixing in a bottle of water and you can spray your leaves, or you can make a tea. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mix mine in water. I think that'll be the best method for me. Now, since this is a lot stronger than my fish fertilizer, I am going to take it a little bit, I'm going to be a lot more cautious with this one. If you watched my other videos, I used the Alaskan fish fertilizer, like I said, and that one is a 5-1-1, which is the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So it was 5-1-1. This one is a 7-3-1, so it is a little bit stronger. So that's why I want to be cautious with this brand. And it does. I was looking for a fertilizer that had a good amount of nitrogen. These numbers are pretty good for organic fertilizers. You'll notice with organic fertilizers, the numbers are a lot lower than the chemical ones, and that's just because they have to use organic matter. And so with chemical ones, you'll see that the numbers are a lot higher. You can get like a 10-10-10 or a 20-20-20. But like I said, with organic and natural ingredients, they'll be a lot lower. And so with the nitrogen, I always make sure I have fertilizers that have a lot of nitrogen, because I'm looking for leafy and foliar growth. You can get some that have a good amount of phosphorus, which would be the second number, if you're looking for blooms or like fruiting. Now, I have had some of my philodendrons start to bloom. If you've seen my philodendron ring of fire, that one has started to bloom. So I thought that I would get a little bit more phosphorus in my fertilizer. And then as far as potassium, that is really good for plants to help them to fight against stress and to help them with cellular growth. So I figured using these fertilizers would help me to overall get my plants to be a healthier state. If your plants are a lot healthier, if they're less stressed, then you should have less pest issues. So that's another reason why I wanted to look into changing up my fertilizer, just to see if I could find something that would make them a lot healthier. So that's the reason why I wanted to switch to bat guano. And yeah, I'm very excited to try this. We'll see how this does with my plants. It's supposed to have a really slight smell to it, but it's supposed to go away a lot easier. And I've also been reading up on it, and it said this is a lot more potent, so I will be taking it easier on this fertilizer as well. And then the second thing that I got is this BioLive, and this is what I'm really excited about. Now, when a lot of people fertilize their plants, we usually just think about fertilizer, whether it's like fish fertilizer, bat fertilizer, things like that. We just think about the main fertilizer. But what this BioLive does is this actually contains beneficial microbes. So this actually helps the fungi and the bacteria that is in the soil. And this will actually help the plant develop more root growth. And so this has mycorrhizal fungi and bacteria, and they form a symbiotic relationship with the plants, and particularly the roots. And so the fungi have a better ability to go into the soil and get the nutrients that the plant cannot always get from the soil. And so this will help the plant do that. And then in exchange, when the plant does photosynthesis, it will feed the fungi the sugars, and they just form that beneficial relationship so that both get what they need, from each other. And so that's why I wanted to try this, because this is going to help my plants develop better roots, a better overall root system. It should help them, if plants have a better root system, then they'll have better foliage, and so on and so forth. And so that's why I really wanted to try this. I really want to try to get my soils to be more healthy and more beneficial for the plant, especially since I don't change out my soils all the time. I reuse my soil. And so that's why I wanted to try this, so I can reinvigorate my soils and make sure that the plant is getting the nutrients that it needs, especially if they don't have the ability to do that for themselves. And so on the back, it also tells you what kind of fungi that is included in here. It tells you the application rates, although most of these application rates are used from outdoor plants. But it does have one that says for containers, but I think that's like garden containers. And then it also tells you about NPK, and then what fertilizers you should use if you're looking for those different ratios. So if you're looking for nitrogen, to use the bat guano, blood meal, or feather meal. If you're looking for phosphorus, use fishbone meal or seabird guano. And if you're looking for potassium, you can use their kelp meal or their langabinite. And so this one actually has a lot of different ingredients in this one. It actually has fishbone meal, fish meal, alfalfa meal. It has the crab meal, which also has calcium in it, shrimp meal, the langabinite, and the kelp. So I get a lot of different ingredients in this, and this is why I also wanted to try this, just to see how this does in my plants. Another thing that I like about this company is that they use recycled materials, so that way it's also good for the environment. And I was surprised that I haven't heard of this company before, but they've actually been around since 1977. And so, like I said, I'm going to take it easy using this. I did watch a couple YouTube videos just sharing about the information, how you should use it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half a teaspoon of this BioLive and half a teaspoon of the bat guano, and I'm going to basically just mix it in a jug of water. Now, it was suggested that you mix the half a teaspoon in a little bit of warm water just so it can dissolve, because it is a powdery substance. And then you fill it up with cool water till you get a gallon. So you want to do half a teaspoon to a gallon of water, and that's what I'm going to do. So let's open this box. And it is very, very fine. It does have a little bit of an odor to it, but if you can see it, it is very fine. this one I definitely smell like the fish in the crab. It just smells like good, it smells like minerals, like if you go to the beach. And I'm just going to slosh this around. Now, if I was smart, I would have kept the lid to my water bottle, but I didn't. I got rid of it a while ago. But you can see that it's dissolving pretty well. So I'm just going to agitate this till it dissolves, and then I'll fill up with cold water. And then I'm just going to water my snake plant in. I watered my other plants the other day before I thought I was going to do this video. So I'm not going to do those plants today, but I'm going to do my snake plants. And then, yeah. So that is how I'm going to use this fertilizer. Let me just go fill it up with cold water. Alright, so what I did was I agitated it over the sink so that way I didn't make a mess. And then I filled it up with like lukewarm water, not cold, because I don't want to shock my plant. And so you can see that it's not really, it's not dark at all. It looks very diluted. So I'm just going to water this in with my plant. Let the plant absorb that water. And there you see. Alright, so that is my new fertilizer combo. Again, I'm using the BioLive, and this is not really a fertilizer. This is a more of a fungi inoculant. So again, it contains the fungi and the beneficial microbes, the bacteria. And then for my fertilizer, I'm using the bat guano, and hopefully these will improve the health of my plants. I'm going to do a update as far as I'm just doing my snake plants, like I said, because I haven't watered them. But if you guys want, I can do an update on my snake plants, or when I need to water my other plants, I can go ahead and water those plants, and then we can do an update to see how my plants are doing with the new fertilizer, because I haven't done anything else different with my plants other than introduce my Soltech lights. So we can really get a gauge to see if this helps my plants. I'm guessing that it's going to definitely help my plants. I think I'm just going to use this stuff maybe once a week just so my plants can get used to it. And then once my plants get used to it, I'll probably do it every watering like I was doing with the fish fertilizer. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, let me know in the comment section below. I'm really interested and excited to try these new fertilizers. I just want my plants to be as healthy as they can be. And I'm hoping, like I said, that this is really going to help with like reducing stress and things like that, so I'll have less pest issues as well. But yeah, comment down below what kind of fertilizers that you guys are using, and just so I can get a gauge on what you guys use, whether it's natural or you like synthetic fertilizers. But as always, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching my videos, liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.